Okay, so I'm starting my walk today on the Greenway in Higham Ferrers, as you can see. We're going to walk towards Rushden and just follow the path. Ultimately we're going to end up in Hall Park, where I want to throw the drone up in the air and get some aerial shots. What a beautiful morning it is today. Another Saturday, another walk. We're not going to do a really long one today, but the sun's shining, sky's blue, it'd be rude not to. I mean, after the snow we've been having in the last few days and the temperature drop that we had last night, it was a really hard frost last night. And then to see this glorious sunshine the next morning, just can't believe this weather sometimes. But let's make the most of it and let's go for a nice walk. Yes, here in Higham Ferrers we've got a crossroads on the Greenway. To the left of me, that takes you up to John Clark Way, which is a road that will take you into Rushden, and on the right hand side that will take you through to the hedges, which then leads on to the toll bar in Higham Ferrers. But we're not going that way today, we're going straight on towards Rushden. I remember when that was all fields, nice little bits of woodland along the side of the Greenway. Charlie used to love running through there. And the houses that back onto the Greenway at this far down are houses that the back gardens of the houses on the hedges. Again, another little bit of woodland, which is a bit of a rough path that goes all the way down, but it's not a purpose-built path. It's just one that's been developed over time. History for this Greenway: this used to be a railway line, and this stretch of the railway line stretched from Rushden to Higham Ferrers. So as we get to the bottom of the Greenway from Higham to Rushden, there's the heritage transport place. I can't remember what it's called now, but I'm sure there'll be a sign a bit further down. But it's the old railway line that has been resurrected for the purposes of train rides and people that are really interested in the trains. I've not seen it running for a while, but when it does, it's a nice sight to see it come through the trees. You know, it don't matter where you go, whether you're walking along the river, walking along a country path, there's always a traffic cone. And along with traffic cones, there's always a scooter knocking about as well. You'll see there's a fence been put up behind this little bit of shrubbery. Looks like they're planning to build something, or not quite sure what, to be honest. But it's all been fenced off. I'm sure we'll see before long. All these fields across the back here, I believe they've all got planning permission to build on now as well, and it's all been locked off from the public now. It wasn't a public footpath, I don't think, that went through that, but it was a footpath that had been adopted by the public that was on somebody's land, and they gave kind permission to do so until now, and it's all been fenced off. But yeah, there is going to be something built there in the near future. these old railway carriage trucks, whatever you call them, all form part of the shit goes over what was the old railway line, and now the historical transport railway line. Wouldn't it be nice if they opened that footbridge up? I think that takes you to the top of Shirley Road in Rushden. So we're out on John Clark Way now, and this is part of the Greenway. It's not the nicest part of the Greenway, obviously being a road, but it weren't that many years ago that this was all fields. It was all fields right up to Denton Close, which is just over to the left of me. And then you got the Denfield School. They had a new entrance built when this road was built. And that stretches right over to Rectory Road in Rushden. So over the road we've got some land that I believe is also owned by the Historical Transport Museum. You see there's an old bus in there. But there is also a building down here. I'm not sure what its origin was, but it's recently, in the last year or two, had a new roof put on it and been renovated, and I think it's now a hall that holds different events. I'm not sure if you can hire it out or anything like that, but you know, the good thing is they've made use of an old building in Rushden. And then on this side of the road we've got all the vehicles, the trains that form part of this museum. Wonder how old these trains are. But it's great that people have got that interest to renovate and bring back to life some of these trains from years ago. And this is the old railway station from Rushden. I can't remember what year this closed down, but I will put a link on the screen where you can go to this museum. And you can always tell a railway station or railway banking with this diagonal fencing. Moving away from the Greenway, we're moving into Rushden High Street because I want to make my way to Hall Park in Rushden. So over here next to Asda used to be a bridge that goes across here, and that was the railway line. The railway pub over there on the right. So this is Rushden High Street on a Saturday morning. I remember when I was younger it was heaving down here. There was people everywhere, cars everywhere. But one thing that I'm getting used to is when people are walking past me, continuing to carry on talking to the camera. It does feel a little bit awkward, if I'm honest, but I'm getting used to it. Ferrers pub. being knocked down. Flats probably going to be built there, houses or something, I'm sure. Now towards the Rose and Crown. Been in there a few times. I'm making my way down to College Street. There's the bingo hall called Flutters. Years ago this was a cinema. Turn left here up into Alfred Street, and this is Alfred Street School here on the right. And I'm going to cut down the back of the school and get onto the bottom of Duck Street. Big car park, and that backs onto the back of Alfred Street School. I'll walk up here now towards Church Street, crossing from Church Street onto the Light Strung, and these two cyclists celebrate various occasions with, and right now they're showing their support for the Ukrainians and their plight at the moment. View of the church towering above the shops and the buildings with the sun behind it. I believe that used to be a drinking fountain years ago. Here we've got Rushden's War Memorial with a fantastic view of the church just behind it. There was the Wheat Sheaf, very popular pub back in the day. It's been closed down for a number of years now, which is a shame. We're just about to enter Hall Park now. I remember playing in here as a child. Some beautiful woodland in here. It's one of Rushden's greatest assets in my opinion, Hall Park. So it's got a brook that runs around the edge of the park. Spent many hours jumping over this brook with my brother when we were younger. Walk through these woods though. Let's have a look at the hall. Rushden Hall. I will put some information about this hall on my website. It's www.tonys.outdoorlife.co.uk. If you want to get a bit more information about it, I'll do some research and I'll put it in my blog. What a fantastic building though. Absolutely beautiful. Imagine living there with this park as your garden. Wow, look at the sunshine across the park. It is beautiful. It's great to see a flag flying there in support of the Ukraine, as we all should be supporting the Ukraine right now. I'm going to take a little walk back now and just get into the woodland area. We're going to enter the woodland just here. There's lots of squirrels in there in this park, and there always has been. Oh, the sun is glistening on that brook. There's a duck down there in the water as well. But some of the far bank brickwork needs a bit of repair. Perhaps it has been repaired when these houses were built, or these flats, should I say. Who knows? But it's interesting to see the floor of this brook. It's made of bricks. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the brook is made of bricks. I actually feel really nostalgic walking through here, because during the summer months when I was younger, we were in here probably every day. I know you're used to seeing me walking along the side of rivers, but brooks are important too in the great scheme of things. There's a field over the back there that's allocated specifically for dogs to run free off of leads. Which is a nice touch. It's always good to think of dog owners. That's Sky. I just sat down for 5 minutes just to take in this view. Looking forward to putting the drone up in the air over there. That'd be nice. This is the bandstand in Hull Park. Now I remember years ago this was made of wood, and we used to play on it when it wasn't in use. But on a Sunday they would have like the Salvation Army band sitting in there and playing different hymns and such like. And this has got 2012 written on it, so I'm guessing this was erected in 2012. And it's got the Olympic rings there, so perhaps it was put up to commemorate the Olympics. Great view in the distance of the Hall. The blue sky with those clouds. How beautiful is that? Just having a look round for a nice spot to plonk myself and send the drone up in the air. Be lovely to get an aerial view of the park. There's a seat just here. I think I'm gonna put the drone down somewhere around here. There's a man down there, looks like he's training his dog, so I'll wait for him to move on. Don't want to scare the dog. I'm just going to have a look, see what the weather conditions are like for today, or for now. And I've got this app called UAV Forecast. What it does, it tells me that it's good to fly at the moment. Currently got sunny weather, and it's 5 degrees C. Wind is currently at 8 miles per hour, but it could get up to gusts of 17 miles an hour, so that will have a bearing on the height that I fly. Wind direction is southwest, as you can see there, and it's very unlikely to rain. There's only 2% precipitation. Flying the drone in the park, got some good views high up. I've just brought it down for now because there was three red kites. They were getting really close to it and I think they were going to try and attack it, but so I brought it down just for a little while, but I managed to get it up to 120 meters in the air, which was, well, it disappeared basically. I couldn't see it against the clouds. But I could see exactly what it could see, and it had some brilliant views across Rushden, which was amazing. And I will put them onto this video in a few minutes. Well, I'm just come away from the seat where I was sat flying the drone. Just going to have a wander. I think I'll walk across here towards the hall. Go back down behind the hall and send the drone up there. I think that'll make some decent footage. Right, that's it, I'm just leaving Hall Park now. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Just walking along Duck Street now. And before all these flats and houses were built, these are all really old houses and all derelict. We used to go in them as kids. This is the butcher's, blimey. I remember that being here when I was a kid. Hollis's, there's a sign on the top of it. It was started in 1896. It's doing alright, isn't it? So I'm just going to cut through the car park now for Splash, the swimming pool in Higham, in Rushden, sorry. And I should be able to get onto the Greenway from there, which will take me through to Rushden Lakes. Town Band Club here. Originally that was known as the Lancaster Club, but then became Rushden Town Band Club when the original Rushden Town Band Club burnt down. Over past Freeman's Court. Alright. It's called Freeman's Court because Freeman's garage was on this site before the flats were built. And we're going to turn down here now, which should get us onto the Greenway. Way now at the back of Asda. If we go down here to the right, it will take us to Washbrook Road and Spencer Park, but we don't want to go that way today. We're going to walk towards Rushden Lakes and make our way back to Higham Ferrers that way. The greens, all the different greens growing on the trees. I've waited a long time for this. Good to see some of the woodland still intact. It runs alongside the pathway. There's still plenty of places for the habitat to live. Just approaching the bridge now, which has got the Washbrook Road running across the top of it. Well, you can't probably see it very well on this camera, but that does spell out Greenway. Building up there at the back of these trees. That was once upon a time Alabone's shoe factory. I worked in there in 1982. My first job. I wonder if that's a new nest or an old nest. A working town by the River Nen made boots for Britain's marching men. A rural town and historic past, built on leather for men on a last. I'm just coming off of the Greenway now and onto the Crown Park estate. This leads you on to Rushden Lakes. I just love how they finished that warehouse off over there with a shiplap finish on the corner. Wonder where that brook goes to. Oh look, scooters, I told you they get everywhere. Looking through the car park for the Needle and all now. God, I'm very tempted to go and have a pint. Yeah, you guessed it. The temptation was too much. So I'm just taking a 5-minute breather. Well, there's a nice breeze blowing today. Sun's shining. It got a little bit warm earlier on and I ended up taking my coat off, but you know, I'm glad I bought my coat because when you get out in the open, it is quite a nip in the air. But I've decided I'm not going to walk through Rushden Lakes and then onto the Greenway. I'm going to walk up Northampton Road and back into Higham Ferrers. But thanks for watching this video. Thanks for clicking on it. If you like it, please click the like button and leave a comment if you want as well. It'd be fantastic. And if you want to subscribe, I do videos quite regular at the moment. So if you click subscribe and click the notification bell, you'll get a notification to say that I've uploaded another one. Just remember what I've always said, you know, if you're feeling a bit down, feeling a bit stressed, or you've got something on your mind, something that's worrying you, put your boots on and go for a walk. But believe me, it works. But remember, if you see a pub along the way, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it, really? So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See you soon. Now finally back to where I started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.